Hi everybody, welcome. So today I thought that I would sit down and film a video for you guys getting ready using one of my favorite brands of all time, and that is bareMinerals. I have all of the products I'm going to use today laid out in front of me, and looking at this, it's safe to say that bareMinerals probably makes up at least 20% of my makeup collection. I'm not exaggerating. I love this brand. They have a lot of great products. And I think they're one of those brands that people tend to overlook because they're so well known for their classic iconic powder foundation. And if you're not a fan of that, I think people tend to dismiss them altogether, when in reality, they have so many other great products, tons of favorites that I have here. So I'm going to do my makeup for the day using all of these products. A lot of them are favorites that I use often, and I've also got a couple of new products that I'm going to test out for you. So let's go ahead and do some makeup. So to start out the face, I'm going to be using the bareMinerals Complexion Rescue Defense. This is a radiant protective veil, and it has broad spectrum SPF 30. It is a physical only sunscreen, so it's made up of titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. This product is really interesting. This is one of my favorites of all time, and it's not a tinted moisturizer, it's not a moisturizer, it's not a foundation. I'm pretty sure that it's marketed just as an SPF, but this gives the most beautiful glow and radiance to the skin. I love wearing this on the days that I'm not wearing any makeup, and I use this as my SPF, and the finish that this leaves on your skin is just so nice. And the nice thing about this product is it also protects from blue light. So any of the light coming off from your phone or computer, I'm not sure exactly what's in it, but there's something in here that helps protect against that as well. So you can see that even just that one little layer, it just gives a really kind of soft radiance to the skin. Like I said, I love wearing this even on the days that I'm not wearing any makeup, and I feel like it just gives you just that little bit of extra something, you know? So next I'm going to go in with this bareMinerals. I keep saying bareMinerals, but obviously it's bareMinerals. So I'll try to quit saying that. This is the Complexion Rescue Hydrating Stick Foundation. This also has SPF 25 in it. It's a physical only sunscreen with titanium dioxide. So this is supposed to be a water-based liquid foundation in a stick with hydrating skincare benefits and SPF protection. It provides all-day medium coverage that's clean, fresh, and naturally radiant. It says it can also be used as a foundation, concealer, or for touch-ups. So I'm just going to swipe this. And then to blend this in, I am using the bareMinerals Smoothing Face Brush. This is a duo fiber type brush, and I really actually like this brush. It's dense enough to where you can actually blend out your foundation with it. I find that a lot of kind of duo fiber brushes are so flimsy and they really don't work that well, but this one's actually really nice. So this product, I'm not sure how I feel about it. This is actually only the second time that I've actually used this foundation. And I don't know if I mentioned, I'm in the lightest shade that they have, which is Opal 01. It might actually be just a shade too light for me at the moment. Yeah, a little bit light, but that's all right. I don't know, it's really soft. So when I was putting it on my face, we had a bit of a casualty. I don't know if you can see that, like part of the foundation kind of like came off there. Not sure exactly what that was about. And as I'm blending this into the skin, it blends really nicely, like it's super smooth and easy to move around, but it's just like, it's sitting right on the top of my skin. I don't know if you can kind of like see on my forehead. I'll try to zoom in. I don't know. if I can. I don't know if it's picking up, but it's just kind of, it's blending and it's like moving the product around, but it's just sitting into my skin and I can see the foundation, especially on my forehead. I don't know. We'll have to circle back on this one. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it at the moment. We'll see how the rest of my products go onto my face. I'd say I got light to medium coverage out of this. I feel like as I was trying to like blend this into the skin, I might have lost a little bit of the coverage. It appears to be a foundation that you'd be able to build up pretty easily if you needed more coverage. I can still see, and I'm sure on camera, you can still see kind of some of my freckles showing through. I have this little blemish kind of up here. Obviously the redness is showing through there. I've got a couple of little like scars on my chin that are showing through as well. So yeah, I'd say light to medium. I'm not super quick to say this is completely medium coverage, but I do think you could build it up and get it there. I'm just not going to do that today because I already don't really like the way this is sitting on my skin and I don't want to add more product. So anyway, moving on to concealer, I'm going to use the Bareskin Complete Coverage Concealer. This is in the shade Light. This concealer is just okay. I really like it for under the eyes. It says it has a serum in it and it's supposed to help kind of conceal the dark circles, which I do think that it does. This is actually a little bit too dark for me at the moment, but since the foundation ended up being so light, it might actually be okay. So I'm patting this out with my finger, and then I'm going to go back in with that foundation brush that we used to blend it all out. Okay, so we are done with the concealer. Again, I mentioned that shade is just, that's light and it's their second lightest shade. It was just too yellow for me, too dark, but I think we kind of made it work. So moving on now, we definitely have to set this. Both of the products that I put on are very moisturizing and I can tell my skin is definitely tacky, it's dewy. Products are not going to go on smoothly on top of this if I don't set it. So I'm going to use the bareMinerals Mineral Veil. And to use this, I'm just going to, I kind of just opened it up and I'm going to take, I don't know if you can see just kind of like what's in the cap here. And I'm going to use my bareMinerals Beautiful Finish brush. And I'm just going to kind of swirl my brush around in it to pick up some product. I'm not going to tap it off. And then I'm just going to kind of like press this into my skin. That was not enough, so I'm going to go back in with a little bit more. Just press this all over first. You guys, I never wear my hair down. When I put on my makeup, I always have it like pulled back into a pony with an outrageous like black headband on to make sure that everything is like out of my face so I can really get up in there. But for the sake of this video, I don't want to look like a complete clown, so I've got my hair down and it's really bothersome. So we might have to figure something out. I'm not putting any of this product directly onto the cheeks, but whatever's left over on my brush, I'm kind of just smoothing it out. I typically only powder my T-zone. My T-zone. And so I'm just going to kind of spread whatever's left just all over. Alrighty, moving on to brows now. This is where I'm going to cheat just a little bit because I don't actually have a bareMinerals brow product. But I am going to just show you, for the sake of showing you, what I do every day for my brows. So I'm using a combination of two different products. This is the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim Brow Pencil in Blonde. And then I'm also using my CoverGirl Easy Breezy Powder Brow along with an angled eye brush to do my brows. So I'm just going to brush them out. I'm not going to go super in depth for the sake of timing on this video, but I'll just show you what I do. So I really do 4 steps here. What I'm going to start by doing is underlining the bottom portion of my brow. Then I'm going to outline the tail of my brow. I'm going to outline the top of my brow, and then I'm going to use the pencil to focus on the inner portion of my brow and defining that a little bit more. To eyes, I'm going to be using the Gen Nude eyeshadow palette in the color Rose. And to start, I'm going to just be using a regular kind of eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to be applying the shade Haze onto my brow bone and inner corner. Next, I'm going to take the shade Pixie, and I'm going to be putting that into my crease. This is actually really light for a crease color, so I shouldn't really call it that. It's more of a transition shade. It's just going to kind of get a base for us before we go ahead and deepen up the outer corner. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to deepen up the outer corner a little bit. So I'm using the shade Soul in this palette on it's kind of a stiffer blending brush. This is the e.l.f. blending eye brush. So I'm picking up just a little bit of that product, and again, I'm going to put this in the crease and the outer corner, and I'm going to be very conscious, because this is a little bit darker now, not to go past the halfway point of my eye. Otherwise, what's going to happen, especially because I have smaller eyes, is it's really going to close down the eyes, and we don't want that. So moving on now to the lid, I'm going to apply some shimmer, and I'm not going to use this palette just because I want to show you guys another product. But if you did only have this palette, either one of these 2 shades right here in the middle would be super nice to just go right on the center of the lid. Boho or Free Spirit, either one. I've used them both before, and they're both really pretty, but my favorite actually bareMinerals eyeshadow product is their loose eyeshadows. So I'm going to use this today in the shade Nude Beach, and these are a little bit messy, they're a little bit glittery, you kind of have to work with them and be careful, but these shadows, you guys, are so pretty. And supposedly on their website, this is supposed to be like one of their top rated products, but I never hear anybody talk about these like ever. But yeah, anyway, they're super pretty. So I'm just putting some of this into the cap, and I'm putting it onto just a short kind of shader brush, and I'm going to be tapping off the excess, because like I said, these are kind of glittery, so if you don't do that and be a little bit carefuler with them, you're going to get some fallout. So now I'm just going to place this on my lid. Look at that. So pretty. And then as far as the lower lash line goes, I'm going to go ahead and take the color that we used. I'm just going to grab a little bit smaller of a brush, and I'm going to use the color that we used in the outer corner, just on the very outer portion of my eyelid. I'm going to be really careful not to close my eyes off. So I'm really kind of only going a third of the way in here. For me, I'm always really careful about this just because I have smaller eyes. And so if I go too heavy with this, it's not flattering. And then I'm going to use the same brush that I used for the shadow. I'm just going to pick up just a little bit. We should still have quite a bit of product on the brush. And I'm going to put this kind of into the middle portion. One thing I will say about these loose eyeshadows is that it's kind of hard to clean up because now I've got a bunch of product in this cap that I haven't used, and there it goes. Oops. So yeah, I didn't really think about that at the time, but just be conscious of that. They're loose glittery eyeshadows, so naturally they're going to make a mess. bareMinerals has some really great mascaras. I have quite a few favorites. One of my favorites is the Lashtopia mascara, and this is a volumizing mascara. I'll see if I can show you the wand. I've been having some focus problems, so hopefully you can see this. I don't know, we might be too far away, but anyway, this is the Lashtopia mascara, one of my favorites. This reminds me a lot of like a Too Faced Better Than Sex or the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, just in kind of how the wand is, the formula. It's really sort of gel-like in terms of consistency. I do really like this one. Again, very volumizing. It's soft and it's pretty. I'm going to use a different one today though because it's new and I wanted to share it with you. This is the bareMinerals Strength and Length Serum-Infused Mascara, and this is actually supposed to have a lash growth serum in it, and it's supposed to just kind of create a softer effect on the lashes with no fallout, is what they claim. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that I've ever had to look up instructions on how to use the mascara in my life. And I opened this up the other day and I looked at it and I was so confused. I was like, I don't even know like what to do with this. So let me show you. Man, we're really picking up a lot of product here. So there is a method to the madness. I looked up the instructions and it is intentional. So I'll do my best to show this to you. So there's actually 3 sides. I really hope this is focusing. So there's 3 sides. So there's the top side, which is step number 1. And this is where you're just supposed to start, how you're supposed to apply the mascara. Then you have step number 2, which is this back side. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but on the it's curved. And like ever so slightly, there's these little teeny divots in the back of it. And this is the part that confused me the most, but apparently this is how you're supposed to build volume. So for step number 2, you're supposed to start at the middle of your lashes and work building the volume upwards. And then step 3 is the sides, right here. So you're supposed to use the side bristles here to separate out the lashes and get more definition. This is supposed to be a lengthening mascara. And I completely expected to hate this when I opened it up because I usually don't gravitate towards the lengthening mascaras, especially mascaras with brushes that have plastic bristles. I don't know what it is. They've never really worked for me. So again, I fully expected to hate this, but I actually really like it. It's really nice. It's really soft. So this is step number 1. Again, using the back part of the brush to just apply the product onto the lashes. I'm going to flip it over now and use step number 2, starting kind of at the middle of my lashes to build some volume, I guess. I don't know if this really does anything. What do you think? I don't know. And then I'm gonna flip it onto the side and use kind of those extra pointy bristles to get that separation. I've got some little problem in the outer corner here where all the lashes kind of clump together, and I tried to use these bristles to separate like it was telling me to do, but it's just kind of like adding more product at this point. I don't know what to do. It's not bad, they're just kind of like a little bit stuck together out there. Moving it back to the step number 1 to just kind of apply it a little bit more. So yeah, there we've got one eye with the mascara and one without. So I'm gonna move on to the other eye. There we go. It's one coat of mascara on the top lashes. It's pretty nice. It's actually like provides more volume than I would have imagined for something that's supposed to be more lengthening. Something might be malfunctioning in here for me because I feel like I've picked up like a lot more product than I did the first time, and I typically like a drier mascara anyway, just because I feel like when you have like a wetter formula, all the lashes kind of tend to clump together, and it's not bad. It's happening a little bit here, but nothing too bad. What I like most about this mascara though is the formula of it. It is like much softer. My lashes feel kind of like soft and flexible and not like hard and crispy. So I'm gonna leave it like that, and then I'm gonna use this for the bottom lashes as well. I'm just gonna try to get some of the excess product off of there. I'm gonna go in with kind of the step number 1 side for the lower lashes. Moving on to the rest of the face now. I actually have 2 new products that I've never used before, and these are sample products. So I have the bareMinerals bronzer in the shade Warmth, and then I have the bareMinerals Gen Nude blush in the shade Call Me Blush. So I'm going to start with the bronzer. This is a pretty standard, it looks like just kind of matte bronzer. It's pulling a little bit more yellow, and I'm going to use this to just kind of bronze up the face. I don't know if that really did anything. Did it add any color? Looks pretty light to me. A little bit down the neck. I'm going to try contouring with this. Looks like it might be just a little bit deep for me for the contour, but I'm just going to go in with an angled brush, pick up some product, and I'm going to focus this right underneath the cheekbone. Ooh. You can see the color now. Nice contour. Again, it might be just like a little bit too dark for me. This isn't something that I would probably reach for every day as far as a shade goes, but I am just gonna blend it out a little bit so it's not so harsh. I'm just using the same brush that I used when I kind of bronzed my whole face. Not bad. I think that if you had a little bit deeper skin tone than I do, this would be really flattering for me. I think it's just one shade too dark. I don't usually go super harsh on the contour, so it's throwing me off a little bit. Moving on to blush, I'm going to use, this is a Real Techniques just small duo fiber blush brush. This, whoa, it's very powdery. Can you see that? It literally just went everywhere. Smoke cloud. So I'm going to just use this on the apples of my cheeks, working it back kind of into the hairline. It's very soft, so I'd be careful with it. But it's not like, it's very soft, but it's not as pigmented, I guess, as I would have imagined for it being so soft, which is nice because it's blending really well. Last but not least, we're going to go ahead and do the lips. So this is the Gen Nude Matte Liquid Lipstick in the color Swag. You guys, I'm not kidding. This is not only my favorite bareMinerals lip product, this is my favorite lip product of all time. I'm putting it out there. I'm saying it. This is my favorite lip product of all time. It is fantastic. It is matte, but not overly matte. It's really velvety. It's really soft. And this shade for me is like a Your Lips but better shade. It's a really pretty mauvey pink shade. I wear this seriously for every occasion. I love this so much. I actually wore this exact shade and this exact product on my wedding day. That's how much I love this stuff. Plus, as an added bonus, this actually smells exactly like a Tootsie Roll. It smells so good. So yeah, it's super velvety, super soft. It does dry down a little bit more, but as you're applying it, it's super velvety. So yeah, love this stuff. Absolutely love it. Gen Nude Matte Liquid Lipstick. Check it out. And that is going to complete our look for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I also hope for those of you who have maybe dismissed bareMinerals that I've at least inspired you to give them a second look. If you guys have any other favorite products that I didn't talk about today that you think I would like, please leave them for me in the comments down below. I would love to check them out, and I will see you guys in the next video.